My goal in this video is to educate myself and others who don't understand why the ENDSARS movement ran this deep. A lot of us actually think we can only measure how well a government and the country is doing by economic statistics. We readily talk about a growing GDP and economic size that we mostly forget about the most important input a country has in the first place: its people. It's almost impossible to have significant economic growth when the human development of a country is not well taken care of. Nigeria has been categorized as a low human development country for at least a decade. We will be looking at relevant social reports like this to understand the struggles that the people of Nigeria go through. Although good growing economy is definitely great, the social development and welfare of the people is not completely explained by economic variables. Reports like the Social Progress Index measures how a country provides basic needs, opportunity, and foundations of well-being for its citizens. This report also shows their performance relative to the other countries in the same economic standing. For example, the United States is ranked 8th richest country by GDP PPP per capita, but ranks 28th for social progress in 2020. These rankings show that they take less care of their citizens compared to other countries with similar GDP. Countries like Canada and Germany. New Zealand, on the other hand, is ranked as 25th richest but comes in as 4th on the Social Progress Index. This means that when it comes to providing a good society for its citizens, New Zealand is doing way better than the United States despite being the poorer country. Long story short, being able to keep your citizens happy is definitely not solely dependent on how much money you make as a country, but how you use what you have to provide what the people actually need. With this in mind, let's go ahead and see what this report says about Nigeria. Nigeria is underperforming to provide basic human needs, but is performing as expected to provide opportunity and foundations of wellness. This puts us at the 136th position out of 163 countries on the Social Progress Index, despite being ranked 120th in GDP. Countries with similar GDPs ranked ahead of us include Kenya, Ghana, Cambodia, and India. And since we can all agree that good governance and leadership goes a long way in making social development happen, even through economic challenges, let's see how well Nigeria has done in that regard. For starters, Democracy Index in 2019 described our democracy as a hybrid regime, which categorizes us as a country with regular electoral frauds.
The country needs certainty, and our democratic process cannot be less reliable than, say, Nigeria's.
In 2018, Ibrahim Index of African Governance ranked Nigeria 33rd out of 54 African countries. We scored 47.9 out of 100 in this report, which is lower than the average score for African countries. World Bank's World Government Indicators report for 2020 shows that we performed less than the average percentile in all their 6 dimensions of government. On a scale of 0 to 100 percentile, a score lower than 50 shows that a country is underperforming in that dimension. We ranked lowest in political stability and absence of violence at 5.24, 13.46 in government effectiveness, and 12.98 in control of corruption. With these figures, you might see why we were ranked so low on Transparency International's list. There is no relevant metric that shows that the average Nigerian in Nigeria is living their best life. Life expectancy in Nigeria is 55 years, which is way lower than the average of the world at 72.6 years. Global Peace Index ranks us as a country with low state of peace. We battle severe challenges in almost every sector of the country, from corrupt public offices to inadequate power supply. We also have the highest population of extreme poverty in the world and are currently facing a food inflation that has risen 108% in 5 years. I want us to understand that even though the protests were about ENDSARS, we were already going through so much that it easily became more than that. From a pandemic that locked down a lot of people's source of livelihood, to a government failing to provide sufficient palliatives to ease the people's suffering. We demanded accountability and fairness from those in leadership positions within the government and got a dark Tuesday on the 20th of October 2020 when Lagos State saw the killings of peaceful protesters by the military as admitted by the state governor.
So you're saying that it was military officers who ordered peaceful protesters to be shot at Lekki toll gate?
Yes, they were there. That's what the footage, that's what it shows.
May we never forget. We can't let the labors of these heroes be in vain. We need to use our powers in politics, human rights, and democracy to fix Nigeria. I encourage you to pick a front, lend your voice, and join this fight. Please do not hesitate to share relevant information in the comment section to continue this conversation and educate those who might need it. Today we might be down, but we are never out. Tomorrow we move.